Could Neverness to Everness be one of the next biggest gacha games coming to the space in the future? Well, recently Neverness to Everness has actually done a ton of advertising for the game, and it's actually looking very decent. This is a game that I haven't really talked about on my main channel much, just because, you know, it's been very new. They've released like one trailer, but now they're doing a lot more advertising that's gotten a lot of people interested, including Braxophone. Braxophone is a very massive content creator. Obviously, you know, he used to make a lot of guides to do with Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact, and he released this video the other day saying, I tried Neverness to Everness early and it blew me away. Now, he's at Tokyo Game Show right now alongside a couple of other content creators. I think Gacha Smack's there and some other people, and pretty much he said he got a hands-on experience with a lot of the game and that it was one of the best things that he's played in a while. He also mentioned that the staff there actually let him have extra time on the game, as a lot of people at the event did get a chance to actually play the game on like a PC there, but obviously as he's a content creator, they were like, hey, you can have a bit of extra time so you can make some videos on this, and I think it's very cool that they've allowed him to do that. And it seems like Neverness to Everness has a very good social media presence. Obviously, if you've seen a lot of these videos on Neverness to Everness, like there's a lot of people reacting to the trailer saying it's good, or making videos just like me, you know, covering a lot of the news about it. And they've been commenting on a lot of people's posts saying, hey, thanks for the video, thanks for the positivity and stuff, because again, it's really nice to see them interacting with the audience. And not to mention, the game looks really great. This here was uploaded 3 days ago. It's a new gameplay trailer. You've probably seen it around. There's a lot of people that have been reacting to this, and honestly, it looks amazing. There's a ton of stuff that they've added to the game, including some driving mechanics. Obviously, I'm playing a bit of this on the video right now, but again, the character designs look honestly amazing. I've never really seen anything like it. They've gone like a little bit more different with this, and it's just an overall different style that we haven't seen in the gacha space for a little bit. And I'm very excited to see what kind of happens with this, and what kind of happens with the future, and how they can actually expand this game, because again, they've released a couple of other videos as well of them actually playing the game and going around the world and kind of showing you all the mechanics and stuff that you can explore around in the game. And yeah, it just looks amazing overall. But is this going to be enough to be one of the next biggest gacha games? Obviously, there is a couple that have, you know, been hinted at and that are in the works. Obviously, we've got Project Mugen as well, which we got a trailer for ages ago. So we should see that coming into beta very soon. And now obviously Neverness to Everness is here. And we've also got other games like Asia Familia and stuff, which we haven't heard from for a while. So again, these should be the big 3 games are going to be releasing, you know, within the next year, or maybe even within, you know, this year, or maybe even next year. And again, it's very exciting to see a lot more of these gacha games coming in, because this year we've had Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. Those two have both been massive gacha games that the people are very much looking forward to. They've actually managed to impress a lot of the players, which is kind of hard to do whenever it comes to new gacha games. We've seen in the past with like Tower of Fantasy and other games like that. People have hyped up so much, being like, this is going to be the next biggest gacha game, and then it just turns out to be pretty bad. I mean, you know, we all knew what happened with Tower of Fantasy. Now, it's not to say that Tower of Fantasy is a bad game now. I think it's actually, you know, they've improved quite a lot, and they've actually played to their strengths. And there is a lot of people that enjoy it, even content creators that still make content on it. But from the initial release, it was pretty bad, and they had a lot of bugs and stuff, which, you know, wasn't great. But the most interesting thing about Neverness to Everness is that the devs are actually the same devs as Tower of Fantasy. So again, it's going to be interesting to see what they do this time and how they actually improve on a release. It seems like they're trying to, you know, be a lot more community focused and a lot more, you know, listening to the audience, which again, I think is really great. And, you know, a lot of people may be kind of deterred from this just because of Tower of Fantasy. You know, it was such a bad release that a lot of people just wouldn't want to play this game because, you know, it's made by the same people. But at the same time, I definitely think this means they've learned from a lot of their mistakes, because as I said, Tower of Fantasy is a pretty decent game now, and they've actually managed to fix a lot of the stuff that was wrong with it. So maybe they've learned from this, actually included a lot of these lessons in their current game, which is coming out now. And I think that Neverness to Everness will actually be a very decent game that is going to compete with the likes of Project Mugen and Asia Familia that is also coming out around the same time. Obviously, the style is kind of unique. It does have that kind of Tower of Fantasy feel to it, which again, I think is great. Obviously, it keeps a kind of style to it. As you know, we got games like the Hoyoverse games, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact. They all have that same kind of style, same kind of, you know, design, which again, I think is great. And I think that, you know, including this into this new game, Neverness to Everness as well, is really cool. And again, they have a lot of interesting stuff. Now, the combat, I think, could be worked on a bit, just because it's kind of like a mix between, you know, Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. I think it's very cool. I do like some of the aspects of it, but again, I do think it could be worked on a little bit. I think it's a little bit boring, but at the same time, it's nothing terrible, especially if you look at some of the other mechanics in the game as well. There's, as I said at the beginning, there was some driving mechanics and stuff like that, which I thought was very cool and very unique. Obviously, we don't have very many driving stuff in gacha games. So yeah, that's going to be really cool to see, and I'm just very interested in what else we're going to see in the gameplay too. Now, obviously, if you want to go over to Braxophone's video and see even more of this gameplay, I'll leave a link down below. so you can see some of the stuff. But again, he goes through some of the story, some of the character designs, and pretty much makes a whole video on it. And he is very excited for it as well. Obviously, you know, he's actually had hands-on experience of it. And he said, I'm not sponsored or anything, you know, I haven't been paid to do this, but this game is great, which, you know, says a lot about a game if you have to go home and make a video about this, because again, he's currently in Tokyo right now and he's just made a video on this. That probably says enough on how much he enjoyed the game and how much other people were enjoying the game too. Now, obviously, if they're already doing playtests like this in Tokyo Game Show, that kind of asks the question, is there going to be a beta test or like some kind of alpha soon? I think we are going to be able to see that very, very soon. Some kind of testing going on between, you know, creators maybe, or maybe even some players. I don't know how they're going to do it. But again, if this does come out, I'll definitely try to get my hands on it and keep you guys updated about this whole game, because again, I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring out in the future and what kind of stuff that we can see in the beta test and also whenever the game actually releases. And obviously, as I said at the beginning, Neverness To Everness do comment on a lot of videos and do check a lot of videos to do their games. So hey, if the devs are there, you can invite me to the beta. I'll definitely try it out for you. I'll try everything. I'll make 20 million videos on it. And I'm saying this quite a lot, but I'm very excited to see what they can do. And I think this is going to be a real contender whenever it comes to just gacha games in general. And it's just really refreshing to see something a little bit different and, you know, something from a different company other than Hoyo or Kuro. I think it's very cool to see, you know, another gacha gaming company coming into the mix and making a really excellent game, at least what we can see so far. Obviously, I don't know, maybe there's some massive problems that we'll find out later down the line, but so far, looking at the gameplay and looking at what other people have been saying, especially creators, it seems pretty good, and people have been really enjoying this game. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that Neverness To Everness will be the next big game, or do you think it's not going to be that good and you're not really going to try it out? Again, I'm super excited for it. I'll definitely try it out whenever it comes out. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.